Hello everybody, welcome back to Talk TV Plus, and we're on intermediate level, so that means remember I'm going to speak only English to you here, but on and off, how do you say de vez en cuando? On and off, I will be using the vocabulary trick. The vocabulary trick is just what I just did. Like on and off, how do you say de vez en cuando? On and off. I will use that vocabulary trick for vocabulary purposes, but also for pronunciation purposes. So sometimes it's going to be an expression that you guys already know, like, what are you talking about? And I'll say, how do you say de qué estás hablando? So you guys will have to repeat, what are you talking about? You understand? So I'll be using English all the time, speaking English all the time, and from time to time I'll be recurriendo, how do you say recurriendo a? Resorting to this vocabulary trick. Okay, now we're on list 21, book 2. Remember, this is intermediate level, although these books 1 and 2 are supposed to be beginners, but there are a few lists, the last several lists, las últimas varias listas, the last several lists are basically for intermediate level. So if you guys want this book, number 2, and you don't have it because you bought the intermediate package or pack, let me know. I can give you a special discount for this book, or I can give you the PDF, just the PDF for these lists for free. Okay, so send me an email and we'll work it out. How do you say lo apañaremos? We will work it out. Work it out. We can work it out. We can work it out. Lo apañaremos. Lo solventaremos. Okay, now, so it's list 21. Again, first list of intermediate level, this unit number or lesson number 16. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the first meaning of the word, like number 1, asignatura, subject. I'll give you sentences, and with those sentences, we will practice with some rhythm. We'll practice with interrogative, affirmative. I'll give you similar expressions. We'll see what comes up along the way. How do you say sobre la marcha? Along the way. So we'll see what happens along the way. A couple of things. Make sure if there's something you don't understand, drop a line below the video. We'll get back to you. Like minute 2:34. Fran, what did you say? What is that expression that you said? And I'll transcribe it for you. Also, you need to have the book or the lists, but please do not read the book until you listen to the list several times. Remember, we have something called a ratio 5-to-1. Ratio 5-to-1, which means you can't read anything. According to the UTalk method, you can't read anything unless you listen to it a few times. Okay, ideally 5 times. 5 times, listen to it 5, and read it once. So what you can do is when you get the book, if you have it, please listen to the audio file that comes with it several times before watching the video. If you're watching this video and you haven't listened to these sentences, try to watch the video. Do not read the words yet. And listen to the audio file and then again read the book. Okay? If you have already listened to this list 21, then you can have the book handy and watch the video at the same time. Okay? If you have the PDF version, you can have it next to the screen, so you can have the video where I'm talking, and then next to it you can have the PDF file. So I think it's pretty handy, comfortable, useful. All right? Now, anyways, asignatura. Subject, okay? Yeah. So, ¿cuál es tu asignatura favorita? What's your favorite? Listen, favorite subject. What's your letra clave? Your semi-key letter, favorite. Y como una E, the R, strong R, favorite. Subject. What's your favorite subject? Well, my favorite subject is English language. Yeah, my favorite language is music. I love music. I've been playing guitar since I was 7 years old. And I love especially rock guitar. I started playing when I was 7, classical guitar, because back then, how do you say por aquel entonces? Back then, there weren't any rock guitar teachers, and so I started playing that classical guitar instrument because it was the more the most similar. It was kind of similar to the electric guitar, which already was the one that I wanted to play. But anyways, so my favorite subject is English, and my favorite subject too is music. Music. Alright, so ¿cuál es tu asignatura favorita? What's your favorite subject? ¿Cuál es la asignatura favorita de ella? What's her favorite subject? What's her favorite subject? Okay. No sé cuál es tu asignatura favorita. I don't know what your favorite subject is. I don't know what your favorite subject is. Alright, ¿sabes cuál es mi asignatura favorita? Do you know what my favorite subject is? Do you know what my favorite subject is? Mejor es. Do you know what my favorite subject is? Alright, very good. So, subject, asignatura. Okie dokie. Now, tema, number 2, tema. Un tema es a topic. So, ¿de qué tema quieres que hablemos? What topic do you want us to talk about? Imagine you're an English teacher, and then a student comes up to you, and you're supposed to talk about something just for teaching or learning purposes. Learning purposes, a propósitos de aprendizaje, learning purposes, and the teacher goes, y el profe suelta, and the teacher goes, so what topic do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about politics? Do you want to talk about economy? What topic do you want to talk about? Okay. No me gusta hablar de ese tema. No me gustaría hablar sobre ese tema. I wouldn't like to talk about that topic. I wouldn't like, Manuel, Miguel, Raquel, like to talk about that topic. I wouldn't like to talk about that topic. You got it? So topic. Normally, a topic, again, in English lessons, it is the word that you need to use. So here are the topics you can talk about. You can choose one, and then you need to talk about it for 1 minute. Once you are finished, estás terminado, así se dice. Once you are finished with that topic, then you need to go ahead, pick. How do you say elegir? Pick, P-I-C-K. Pick one more number, and then that'll be the next topic and second topic that you'll have to talk about. Okay? So, un tema, a topic. Alright, very good. Number 3 is estudios. How do you say estudios? Studies. Okay? El verbo estudiar es to study. Do you like to study? Study, la D como una R, study. Do you like to study? Yes, I like to study. And so, esos estudios son muy complicados. Those studies are very difficult. Math studies are supposed to be difficult. For me, they were very, very difficult. I was constantly failing, flunking. How do you say catear? To flunk. So I was constantly flunking maths. And when I was 13, 14, already I had to go to a special teacher to get some support out of the class. It's just 7 or 8 p.m. in the afternoon or evening. I used to go to a teacher so he could give me support on maths. All right. Anyways, that's not my strong point, maths. Okay, in those studies, I don't like studies. Anyways, ciencias. How do you say ciencias? Science. Do you like science? Right. And there was something when I was teaching in the U.S. There was something called social studies. Ciencias sociales, social studies. Social studies, relacionado con studies, social studies. And ciencias, science. All right. Do you like science? Well, yes, I do. I like experiments and. Back when I was a student, I kind of liked science more than drawing or maths, of course. Anyways, number 6, geografía, geography. Do you guys like geography? I did. I liked geography. As a matter of fact, how do you say de hecho? As a matter of fact. Or in fact, or actually, So, so actually, when I finished high school, I didn't know what to study. I didn't know what to study. And so I thought, okay, out of what I have here, de lo que tengo aquí, from what I have here in my town, geography and history, it was the degree that was more suitable for me. So I decided to go ahead and study that. And yes, geography, that was something I really liked. Population, maps, and it's a pretty wide subject or degree, geography, guys. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, I recommend you guys do it if you don't know what to study when you finish high school like me. So geography is a good option. See, I wound up, I wound up being an English teacher because I was what you call a late bloomer. A late bloomer is like alguien que florece tarde, all right? So I realized I thought I wasn't cut out for languages. Pensaba que no valía para los idiomas. I thought I wasn't cut out for languages. But then when I was 25, just studying differently, I was able to become an English teacher. But before that, my degree was on geography and history. So anyways, geografía, geography. All right, very good. Number 7, química, chemistry. Do you guys like chemistry? Did you guys study chemistry at high school? All right. Did you guys estudiasteis química en el instituto? Did you guys study chemistry at high school? All right, let's repeat it. Did you guys study chemistry at high school? Did you guys study chemistry at high school? Repeat after me. Did you guys study chemistry at high school? I did. I studied chemistry at high school. I kind of liked it. I liked it better than, me gustaba más. How do you say me gustaba más? I liked it better than math, absolutely. Well, you could say math or maths. Both of them are valid. I think one of them is more British and the other one is more American. So I kind of liked math, but I didn't like math, but I kind of liked chemistry. So yes, I did chemistry at high school. All right, now, and number 8, física. Physics. What about physics? Did you guys do physics? I did. I did physics and I kind of liked it too. Más o menos me gustó. I kind of liked it too. It was complicated, but it was more connected to reality, to the real world. Estaba más conectado? It was more connected to the real world. So, I liked it. All right. I wasn't really bright on that, but, I could, I was not failing, so I liked it. Yes, physics. Now, lots of problem solving and lots of thinking involved. But yeah, I liked it. Do you guys like physics too? I hope so. All right, now, very good. Biología, biology. Biology is another subject. And I liked it too. All right. ¿Te gusta la biología? Do you like biology? ¿Te gustó la biología? Did you like biology? ¿Alguna vez te ha gustado la biología? Have you ever liked biology? Hey, have you ever liked biology? Nunca me ha gustado la biología. I've never liked biology. ¿Estudiarás biología? Will you study biology? La biología es una carrera un poco complicada. Biology is a bit complicated. Biology is a little bit complicated subject. I don't know if I would say it like that. Biology is a rather complicated degree. Iba a decir asignatura. Well, biology can be a subject, but biology can also be a degree. So, biología es una carrera un poco complicada. Biology is a rather difficult degree. Biología es una asignatura un poco complicada o algo complicada. Biology is a rather difficult subject. Okay, subject, asignatura, degree, carrera. Okay, in English, a career is what you do after you finish college. So I studied geography, But when I finished college, I started my career on English teaching, okay? While in Spanish, the carrera is the degree in English, okay? So estudió la carrera de biología. He studied a degree on biology, all right? Do you understand? So that's important. Okay, very good. Historia, number 10. Historia is a history, como asignatura o como carrera, a degree in history, or the subject of history. And we'll see it because it's the similar one, which is story, which is un cuento, okay? So what's the story today? So do you want me to tell you a story? It's un cuento, all right? But history is the history of Rome, the history of Spain. Okay, so what about history? Did you guys like history back when you were at high school? I did. I liked history. But to me, it really depended on the teacher. So with a really good teacher, history was really interesting. It was like a movie, interesting. And I went home and studied it, and pretty much you got everything that the teacher said in the class. You remembered because it was so motivating. But if the teacher wasn't so good, then, well, that wasn't so interesting. But that happens with every subject, but especially with history, because it's like a movie. So I really liked it, Me gusta la historia de Roma. I like the history of Rome. Okay, ¿sabes algo de historia de España? Do you know anything about Spain history, or the history of Spain? All right, te voy a contar la historia de España por medio de un cuento. I'm going to tell you the history of Spain by telling you a story. So I'm going to tell you a story about te voy a contar un cuento sobre la historia de España. I'm going to tell you a story about the history of Spain. Yes? I'm going to tell Manuel Miguel Raquel, I'm going to tell you a story, letra clave R. I'm going to tell you a story about the history, letra clave history of Spain. Of Spain, juntamos, of Spain. Very good. Now, number 12, espacio. Space. All right. Yeah. We need more space. Necesitamos más espacio. We need more space. We need more room. No hay suficiente espacio. There isn't enough room, diría yo más ahí, ¿vale? But you can use it too. All right. We need more space. ¿Hay sitio para alguien más? Is there room for anybody else? Necesitamos más espacio. ¿Hay sitio para? Is there room for anybody else? Room como habitación. All right. So, anyways, number 13, sitio. Place. ¿Conoces ese sitio? Do you know that place? Ese sitio no me suena nada. That place doesn't ring a bell. ¿Te suena? Does it ring a bell? Does it ring a bell? No, that place doesn't ring a bell at all. En absoluto, at all. Yes, so, place. You can also también significa, it's also a synonym for your house, so you can come to my place. You can come over to my place. By the way, to come over means venir a casa. You can come over, okay? You can come to my place. So, ¿conoces ese sitio? Do you know that place? Oh, it's a nice place. Definitely. Sitio. Place. All right. Number 14. 14, how do you say? ¿Cómo se dice? La luna. La luna. The moon. The moon. There's a beautiful moon tonight. Oh, it's a beautiful moon tonight. All right. Full moon. Okay. Now, yes. Estrellas. Stars. Okay. He's a movie star. Una estrella del cine. Also, it's a saying that goes, reach for the stars. It's a very American saying, because it's a very positive, like an ambitious sentence, like reach for the stars. Always meaning, try to achieve always, try to do your best, try to have goals in life, reach for the stars. Okay. Also, star is starring. Now I'm gonna watch a movie starring Jennifer Aniston, okay, starring, like, con el papel de estrella, like with the protagonist, or the main protagonist is Jennifer Aniston. So I like that movie starring Ben Affleck. All right, so starring comes from star, I guess. All right, now el cielo. How do you say el cielo? The sky. Okay. Yes. It's a blue sky. Hay un cielo azul. El cielo está muy alto. The sky is very high. Mira hacia el cielo. Look up to the sky. Look up to the sky. ¿Puedes tocar el cielo? Can you touch the sky? The sky. Make sure you don't get mixed up with esquiar, which is to ski. All right, I like to ski. If you look up the sky today, you'll see it'll be difficult if you want to ski today. So if you want to ski today, first take a look at the sky. All right? Si quieres esquiar hoy, echa un vistazo al cielo. If you want to ski today, please take a look at the sky first. Okay, because it might be snowing or it might be a bad day. So ski sky. Very good. All right. The skyline also of Chicago, the skyline of New York is like when you see a city, like big city from far away, then you can see the line that the buildings and the lights especially make. Okay, so produce, and that's the skyline. You can see a lot of pictures of skylines of New York, for example, is very typical. Chicago. So every major American city has a very beautiful skyline. Yes, skyline. I don't know how to translate that into Spanish, but I hope you understand. Skyline. Anyways, okay, now, okay, cool. Planets. Yeah, when I was a kid, studying planets was one of my favorite units, or my favorite parts of the year. Planets, it was so awesome. The name of the planets, the color of the planets, whether they had a ring, or if they were bigger and smaller, or how far they were from the Earth. It was really, really interesting. Planets, okay? ¿Cuántos planetas hay? How many planets are there? No sé cuántos planetas hay. I don't know how many planets there are. I don't know how many planets they are. I don't know how many Manuel Miguel Raquel planets there are. There are. I don't know how many planets there are. Okay, very good. So planetas, planets. Good. La Tierra. The Earth. La Tierra es redonda. The Earth is round. La Tierra es redonda porque no es cuadrada. The Earth is round because it's not square. Okay? Alright, better yet, aún mejor. La Tierra es redonda porque no es plana. The Earth is round because it's not flat. Okay? Por lo tanto, therefore, condicional 1, condicional 2, actually. Condition number 2. Si la Tierra fuera plana, no sería redonda. If the Earth were flat, it wouldn't be round. It wouldn't be round. So let's do it again. If the Earth were flat, it wouldn't be round. Very good. So, yes. Okay, now, compañeros de clase, it's number 19. Classmates. How many classmates do you have? Well, I have 24 classmates. Alright, so therefore, ¿cuántos sois? How many of you are there? Alright, so somos 25. There are 25 of us. Yes. How come? ¿Cómo es que sois 25? How come you guys are 25? How come there are 25 for you guys? Yeah, see. How come there are 25 of you guys? Well, somos 25 porque no somos 26. Well, there are 25 of us because there aren't 26 of us, alright? So remember, somos 25, there are 25 of us. Because if we say we are 25, it's kind of confusing because it might mean tenemos 25 años, alright? I know in a context, it wouldn't be that mistake. That mistake wouldn't be common, but I recommend you guys use. There are 25 of us. There are 3 of us. How many of you are there? Okay, so yes, there are 25 of us. Okay, so ¿cuántos compañeros tienes? How many classmates do you have? So I have 24 classmates. So that means there are 25 of you guys, right? Eso significa que sois 25. That means there are 25 of you guys, right? Yes, there are 25 of us. Yeah, it's a big number, okay? Classmates, very good. 20, number 20, compañeros de trabajo, colleagues or workmates. I've heard a lot colleagues. ¿Cómo te llevas con tus compañeros de trabajo? How do you get along with your colleagues? How do you get along with your colleagues? Fíjate, se convierte en una R suave. How do you get along, letra clave L, along with your colleagues? How do you get along with your colleagues? How do you get along with your colleagues? With Z-I, letra clave I como una E. How do you get along with your colleagues? How do you get along with your colleagues? Me llevo muy bien. Entonación, intonation. Hey, how do you get along with your colleagues? Hey, how do you get along with your colleagues? Hey, how do you get along with your colleagues? Me llevo muy bien con mis compañeros de trabajo. I really get along with my colleagues. I really get along with them. I really get along with my colleagues. Yes, we have fun. Then after work, we go for a drink. So we really get along. We get along. Very good. So, number 21, parientes, relatives. ¿Tienes parientes en Francia? Do you have any relatives in France? Do you have any Manuel Miguel Raquel relatives in France? ¿Tenéis parientes en Francia? Do you guys have any relatives in France? Do you guys have any relatives in France? Do you guys have? So intonation, hey, do you guys have any relatives in France? ¿Por casualidad tenéis algunos parientes en Francia? Do you happen es por casualidad. Do you happen to have any relatives in France? Do you happen to have any relatives in France? Let me know because I'm gonna be there in France. I'm gonna be in Paris for a while. Okay, voy a estar en París durante un tiempo. I'm gonna be in Paris for a while. So if you have any relatives, si tienes algún pariente, if you have any relatives, then I can get in touch with them. Okay, I can get in touch with them in case I need something. Por si acaso necesito algo, in case I need something. Very well. So parientes, relatives. Manuel, Miguel, Raquel, the L, relatives. La I como una E y la V. Relatives. Repeat after me, relatives. ¿Tienes parientes en Canadá? Do you have any relatives in Canada? Do you have any relatives in New York? Do you have any relatives in Spain? Yes? All right. Now, very good. How do you say empresa? Number 22. How do you say empresa? Empresa is a company. Okay? Me gusta mucho esa empresa. I really like that company. ¿Cuál es tu empresa favorita? What is your favorite company? Well, my favorite companies are Apple. Can you tell? ¿Se nota? Can you tell? Can you tell is, how do you say se nota o lo notas? Can you tell? Apple, I like Amazon. Amazon is awesome. I like Tesla. It's one of my favorite ones. I like Facebook too. It's a great company. What else I like? I like Inditex, which is the Amancio Ortega's company. Zara's, okay, so Inditex is a great company from Spain. But basically, yeah, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, Google, of course. Google is a monster. How much intelligence is there? It's amazing. How can they be so perfect? Yes, it's amazing. Google is, and to me, there are, Google and Apple are on the same league. Like Apple more devoted to hardware, and Google more devoted to software, maps and the search engines and everything. They're perfect. That Google Maps it's amazing. So anyways, those are my favorite companies. All right, now what about you? What's your favorite companies? You can drop a comment and then we can talk about that. Compañeros de trabajo, empresa, you could say company, but also employer. And when you sign a contract, you have the employee, el empleado, and the employer is the contratante, what you call in Spanish. It's more of a technical word, so the employer. So who's your employer? ¿Quién te contrata? It's kind of similar to company, okay? But it's more contract related to me. It's more formal. Not formal, but the most general a term is company. Very good. All right. El gobierno, government. El gobierno de España, the government of Spain. El gobierno de Estados Unidos, the government of the United States. Government. Y un gobernador es a governor. The government. Okay. Los impuestos. How do you say impuestos? Taxes, yes. And the United States, Hacienda in the United States is the Internal Revenue Service, which is IRS, the IRS. IRS stands for. By the way, to stand for is significar, but when you talk about abbreviations, etc. So, like for example, the NATO, what does NATO stand for? Well, NATO stands for National Organization, I don't know. I don't remember what NATO stands for. But anyways, what does USA stand for? Well, USA stands for United States of America. And then what does IRS stand for? Well, IRS stands for Internal Revenue Service. And there's a saying in the United States which says, don't mess with the IRS. Don't mess with the IRS. No tontees con Hacienda, okay? Do not, no enredes o no tontees, no intentes hacer trucos. Don't mess with the IRS. To mess es, no te metas también. Don't mess with my sister, alright? If you mess with my sister, then I'll teach you a lesson. Te haré tu merecido, okay? Don't mess with her, okay? No te metas conmigo. Don't mess with me, alright? You don't want, you don't want to play with me. You don't want to mess with. Sometimes, instead of saying, you don't have to, you say, you don't want to. Mejor que, no? Es un consejo. You don't want to mess with me, alright? Because I get angry, okay? And then I'll teach you a lesson. So you're asking for it. If you're messing with me, te la estás buscando. If you're messing with me, you're asking for it. Anyways, so don't mess with the IRS. Because the IRS is the section of the government in charge of gathering the taxes and the money from the population, basically. Okay, so that's the IRS, and that's related to impuestos, taxes. Un impuesto, tax. Impuestos, taxes. Make sure you don't say taxis, sino taxes. All right. Very good. Okay, so economía. Economics. It's funny. How do you say es curioso? It's funny because economía, there are several ways of saying it. So economics, como like as a subject, this economics. But also you have the economy. The economy of this country is in very good condition. And I know that because I have a degree on economics. So I have a degree on economics. So I can tell you that this country's economy is very strong. Okay, I hope it makes sense. It's kind of tricky. This was the last one. 25, economics. All right, guys. So this is pretty much all. List 21. Let me know if you have any questions. I gave you a lot of, not many variations because these words were not really easy to deal with. ¿Cómo se dice tratar? To deal with. But I gave you some sentences. I gave you some pronunciation tricks. I gave you a lot of expressions. I hope you understood everything. If you didn't, please leave a comment below this video. Please specify the minute, like minute 3:45 or minute 12:35. What is that expression that you mentioned in? Could you type it? Could you tell me more about it? Could you give me more examples? Feel free, all right? Leave a comment, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. All right, guys, so this is list 21. We'll see you again on list number 22, which it'll be done by Carlos. I'll see you again on this book to list 23. Again, unit 16 or lesson 16, if you will. Si lo prefieres, how do you say si lo prefieres? If you will. And thank you so much, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.